Hey guys, and welcome to a new news episode. We have a lot to talk about today. It's mostly going to be about the Halloween event, which will also include the Halloween Cup. So let's get right into it. We have this article by LeakTurk as usual for the event about everything that's going on. We're gonna skip through these texts that we already knew about the double transfer candy, double catch candy. We go to the spawns. Okay, so we know that Pikachu with the Mimikyu costume is spawning in the wild. Although Grimer is also spawning in the wild, that's interesting. Then we have Ghastly, Cubone, Murkrow, Misdreavus. We have Sableye with a hat. Normal Sableye is listed as well, but I have to say that I have only found Sableyes with hats and no regular Sableyes at all in the wild. So I think this is a mistake. Shuppet is spawning, Duskull, Chameko, and remember that Chameko will give you 1000 Stardust if you catch it. Drifloon, Stunky, the normal Yamask is spawning in the wild. The Galarian Yamask is not spawning in the wild. We have Litwick and we have Golett. Golett is definitely one of the rare spawns. We have Photobomb encounters, so 3 Photobombs each day. And it will either give you a Misdreavus or a Yamask. 50% chance between either of them. Then we have the eggs. There are a couple of special egg Pokemon. In 5 km eggs we can see Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Sableye and Litwick. And I believe Litwick is listed as a special 5 km egg because it's usually in 10 km eggs. Raids, we have Gengar raids and Darkrai raids. And we have a couple of shinies here with Sableye and Spiritomb, although Gengar should be listed here as well. But these are the new shinies. Okay, then we have a couple of verifications about the shinies. We can see Spiritomb here from the quests. You can only get Spiritomb from the quest. And talking about the quest, Sir Ampersand has made a Reddit post here stating that it seems to be a very rare quest, and the people are agreeing in the chat. It seems to be like 1 in 50 maybe, 1 in 25. Like 1 quest for every 25 Pokestops. They are definitely quite rare. We have shiny costume Gengar. Yes, it's possible to get the... This one is actually from the timed research, but you can also get it from the raids, of course. And talking about that, it seems that when you do a Mega Raid, we know that you cannot catch the Mega Pokemon, and it will go back to its normal state. And apparently when it goes back to its normal state, it will get the costume. So that begs the question, why would you do a regular Gengar raid from a Tier 3 raid if you can do the Mega Gengar raid and you will still get the costume with additional Mega Energy? So personally, that caught me by surprise. The first few days of the event I was doing the regular Gengar raids, but after seeing this I will only be doing Mega Gengar raids from now on. We have the shiny costume Sableye. Only in the wild. We have the shiny Mimikyu Pikachu in the wild. Then about Darkrai, it does not seem to have Dark Void. So yeah, I mean, like a week ago we were kind of hyping the Dark Void on Darkrai because it was found in the code, and surely with Darkrai coming for Halloween there was no reason to not activate it, but it seems that Niantic has found one, whatever it may be. So yeah, they have added Dark Void just in case, but decided against it. So we will have to wait for another time for Dark Void. It is not this event. Then we have the starters. These have been seen before. This is not a new costume. This is for Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur. And if you catch one of these Pokemon in the wild, they will not have the costume. But when you get these Pokemon from a quest or from an egg or from a raid, then they will have the costume. And they can also be shiny, and they are not evolvable. By the way, talking about evolution, the Gengar with the costume can evolve, but it will temporarily lose the costume. And then when it goes back to its normal form, it will gain the costume back again. That has been confirmed now. A quick verification that if you trade your Galarian Yamask, it resets to win a raid counter to evolve. So we know that you need to win 10 raids with a Galarian Yamask in order to evolve it. Furthermore, you will only be able to get one Galarian Yamask yourself. because it is at the end of the research, and other than that there is no way of getting a Yamask except for trading. So yes, you could get more Galarian Yamask by getting the one from your special research and having other people trade their Yamask to you. But let's say you want to do a lucky trade. You've already both done a couple of raids, so maybe you have actually completed it and you're already at 10-10, you just haven't evolved it yet, and you decide to trade with someone, it will reset. So if you have done the 10 raids, then at least both evolve first and then trade, because you don't want that effort wasted, obviously. I'm gonna go back here for a moment, see what else we have. We have an infographic. So the bonuses are double catch candy, double transfer candy. Galarian Yamask makes a debut, but you can only get one, so extremely rare at the moment. Spiritomb makes the annual return, but this you can get it from the... Yeah, you can get one from the special research as well, of course, that's a nice touch. And you can try to gather a couple from the field research, and we will talk about those research quests very soon. Costume Pokemon here, of course the Gengar and the Sableye. Mega Buddy Challenge. Yeah, we could get quite a bunch of energy for a Gengar with the timed research. It was easy. Personally, I was able to complete it in the first hour or 2 hours. And yeah, it gave you a bunch of Gengar Mega Energy. You were also able to get a Gengar costume, but I don't know if it was from the timed research or from the special research. DARKRAI, of course, Halloween event field research, take a snapshot, and we have a couple of costumes and the boxes. Then talking some more about the timed research, we can see what the quests are like. So catch some ghost and dark type Pokemon, transfer some Pokemon, you get Houndour, make 9 nice throws in a row. I know that some people are struggling with this task. If you are, then make sure that you have at least enough Nana berries. Try to get a couple of nice throws in, and every time you get to around 3, 4 or 5, from that moment try to keep catching only by using Nana berries, so you're certain that the streak won't get broken by your Pokemon making some sort of move, giving yourself a better chance. And of course you could also try to hunt for specific Pokemon for which it is easier to get nice throws in. Then evolve 4 Pokemon, catch 94 Pokemon, and here we can see that Gengar from this timed limited timed research. Then you automatically reward the last ones, and that gives you a total mega energy of 260. Okay, so that's 260 mega energy, which will be enough to evolve your Gengar one time and one consecutive time. And then we can see a little bit of Stardust and some candies. Then we have the special research, and 4 tasks: catch 30 ghosts, transfer 4, catch 34, get a Duskull and a regular Yamask. Then catch 10 dark type Pokemon for that costume Sableye, make 8 nice throws, 108 Pokemon. There you will get the Spiritomb already, so it's quite early. Then we have catch 40 ghost type Pokemon for Litwick, make 9 great throws and catch 49 Pokemon for a Yamask. So it's nice to see that none of these tasks force you to do a raid or hatch eggs. They are all quite easy to do. And yeah, of course that Yamask is the only one that you can get, so don't transfer it. And then you automatically claim the rewards on the last one again. So when it comes to the numbers, there are some reasons Niantic went for these specific numbers, and it has something to do with the Pokédex entries and the Pokédex information about the Pokemon. I am not going to go into that because it's not that interesting, but there is a reason that shows those numbers specifically. Okay, the field research test then. Catch 18 dark type Pokemon for Spiritomb and catch 18 ghost type Pokemon for Spiritomb. These are the 2 most interesting tasks for this event for sure. Then win 2 raids is also relatively interesting, but it is a bit of a more expensive way to try and get the Spiritomb, and at the same time it will only give you a 50% chance to get a Spiritomb encounter, because you could also get a Yamask. Then power up a Pokemon 5 times, as stated earlier, will give you those costume Pokemon, those costume starters. And here we have the encounters, so you can see the CPs. So for Spiritomb, if you get an 888, it will be a 100%, and yeah, the same for the other ones. Cubone is also possible by purifying 2 Shadow Pokemon. So if you do not have a Shadow Cubone, you could give that a shot. And that is everything for the event. Then we're going to go to Pokeminers here quickly. We can see some of the costumes that have been added, like Sableye goggles, some hats, mask. We have a spooky pose. And yeah, the same for the female, of course. And that seems to be all of the interesting things. The shop image has been updated. Okay. And a Go Battle League update, Halloween Cup, League Tub Premier, Pokemon types, and the Flying Tub. Okay, so preparation there for the cups that are coming up. Halloween Cup starting in a couple of hours. Then we can see here the research from a different view. Well, actually this is the Drifloon research. We haven't seen that yet. This was from yesterday. So we can see here all of the tests for that Drifloon event, which lasted almost one full day. So we can see that the tests were again quite easy, as we've seen a couple of times with these kinds of quests. It's just a bunch of catching and using some berries. We can see that we get some Mega Energy as well. You can see 20, 40, plus another 40, that's 80 Mega Energy there. Mostly Drifloon encounters. But you can get one Gengar as well. So we know we could get one from the timed research, but we could get another one here for the Drifloon event. And some Banette and yeah, not the other ones are not really that interesting, but mostly Drifloon, and Drifloon definitely had a boosted chance to be shiny yesterday. I myself got like 22, 23 shiny Drifloon yesterday. That's gonna be impossible with the regular odds of 1 in 450. So I don't know what the precise shiny rate was, but there definitely was a boosted chance. So that was it was really a nice event, I think. You could also get some extra quests from the Pokestops. And when it came to the quest, then another interesting thing is that the quest changed. So the moment that it became 8 AM, the quest changed. And the moment it became 10 PM, the quest changed again. So that also gave you 2 chances to find Spiritomb quest. Because you could check before 8 AM, make a quick round through your area. And then after that, during the Drifloon event, you could try again. We are going to talk a little bit about the Halloween Cup here with PvPoke. And he's stating that Azumarill and Galvantula are the most interesting Pokemon for the Halloween Cup. So if you got those, then you might as well use them. We're going to talk more about Halloween Cup a little bit later. First I want to go to a couple of gamings here. Go to a couple of infographics. We can see raid counters here for Darkrai. So we can see that the fighting Pokemon are doing very well. But Mega Beedrill is actually the strongest counter. Because Darkrai is weak to Bug, Fairy and Fighting. And yeah, Megas are really strong, as you all know. The only problem with Mega Beedrill is that, well, it's not really a problem, but you would have to let your other teammates know that you are using a Mega Beedrill, so that they will use things like Scissor and Pinsir or Genesect instead of the fighting types, because then they get a 30% boost. But either way, if you use Beedrill and other people are using fighting types, they will still get a 10% boost, so that's nice anyway. Okay, so when you know all of the boosted spawns, I mean for Alolan Grimer, I think the chance to get that one shiny is definitely boosted, because it's one of those Pokemon that comes from the eggs, and all of those Alolan Pokemon from the eggs seems to have a shiny chance of around 1 in 50, and as proven in the past, when they hatch when they are in the wild, they will keep that same chance. We have seen that with Alolan Meow, for example, as well. So I definitely think that Alolan Grimer has around a 1 in 50 chance. It is quite a rare spawn though. We can see here the task again. We can see here the research. It's basically the same that we just went to from League Duck. We have here the raid bosses. So currently the raid bosses include the 3 starters with the costume. Misdreavus, another costume form with Sableye. We have Mowell and Timber as well. We have Raichu, we have Costume Gengar entire 3 raids, and Alolan Marowak, Banette and Absol. So a lot of potential shiny checks this event. Of course we have DARKRAI in tier 5 and in the Megas the same with Gengar now. And as stated before, I see no reason to go for a regular Gengar instead of a Mega Gengar. Only if you live in a rural area and you have no way of getting more people, although I would still advise to try find more people by using sites like PoGo, for example, to find people from other countries. But yeah, I would definitely go for the Mega Gengar raid instead. Talking about Mega Gengar, here we can see some of the best counters. So Mega Gengar is fantastic against Mega Gengar, Mewtwo is doing well, Mega Houndoom, Metagross, Darkrai and Giratina. And as stated by people, it is tough to beat in the sense that it has such a huge attack stat that basically when it throws a charge move, it pretty much one hit KOs most of your Pokemon. So you might have to rejoin. But other than that, it's not too difficult if you have a decent group. So here we have again the Drifloon special research, all of the stages, 10 stages. And that's it from a couple of gaming. And here we have that verification from PvPoke as well, that Alolan Grimer is indeed spawning in the wild and can be shiny too. Got one myself. Okay, then we're gonna go to some Reddit posts. First, friendly reminder, use your mystery box if you can during the 2x catch transfer window we have. Okay, so we know that the current bonus for the Halloween event is double catch candy and double transfer candy. So you might as well use that for the Melton as well, because this is a great moment to open that Melton box for 1 hour, and you can get like 40 spawns in an hour, I believe. So obviously you will get then 6 candies instead of 3, and with a pineapple that's 12. So that's, you can get a lot of candies that way. No word yet on when Shiny Melton is going to be released. We know an event is coming for that soon. It seems unlikely that they're going to release it during the Halloween event, and after 3 days you can open a new one, so I think it's safe to open it now. Master of Disguise is complaining about the amount of Pokeballs that we are getting at the moment. And I wanted to look at the reply here from S3B, and he has an hypothesis that the decrease in the number of Pokeballs from photo disc and gifts from friends since last Monday, it happened when they enabled the AR mapping function, possibly so that the trainers are forced to do their photo missions to the Pokestops and thus get 10 balls or 5 Super Balls easily. So this is a likely reason why we might be getting a little bit less Pokeballs from the gifts and the Pokestops, but there is no confirmation yet. Then, full list of countries, territories getting the Day of the Dead event. We talked about getting the Day of the Dead event, we talked about that event a couple of days ago. But here we can see which countries are actually going to get it. So yeah, you can read through it and see if one of your countries is amongst them. Then we have a couple of Reddit posts about GRE47. We are getting into PvP now. But first we are going to talk about the new Galarian Pokemon before hopping into the Halloween Cup. So we can see that again it is a big write-up from GRE47, which is definitely the most important Reddit user, always giving a lot of interesting, useful information about the Gobat League. So we can see Galarian Rapidash, the Surfetched, and I believe he's going to talk about Runerigus as well. We are quickly going to the conclusions. This entire article is interesting, however, if I'm going to read through the entire thing, it's just going to take so much time. So if these kinds of posts interest you, then I would advise you to search it up yourself to read the entire thing, but we are going to just look at the conclusions. Galarian Rapidash seems to generally run best with no fairy damage at all. Instead, it seems best in general as a speedy psychic type with Psycho Cut and Body Slam, then Play Rough for general step damage dealing, or Mega Horn for coverage that maims opposing Psychic, Dark and Grass types especially. It's more of a niche pick, but it's well worth building one for the Great League for future limited cup metas. And he's basically talking about the kind of cups that we have now with the Halloween Cup and the Flying Cup. It might be some sort of cup in the future where it's going to be more important. I think that there will be one that favors it down the line. Surfetch is a beast in all 3 leagues, a very good fighter that can torment things weak to grass thanks to Leaf Blade. So for example you could Leaf Blade against something like a Swampert or in the Great League against something like a Wishcash, Pokemon that are double weak to grass are going to have a big trouble with that Leaf Blade. Or cover its rear with good coverage move Night Slash, or big punishing Brave Bird. I hope your accent throws are on point, because I recommend building a good one for each of the 3 leagues. It is that good, and they should be a part of each eligible meta moving forward. Runarigus is just depressing. Short of a new fast move or a major overhaul to current Astonish, it is just useless. Okay, then we are going to the next article from GRE47, and we are starting with the Halloween Cup analysis now. So we can see again that he has made a very large article. And we're not going to talk to the whole thing. I will try to give some sort of a summary from it. So he's talking about different kinds of Pokemon based on the costs. So these are the costs that should be easy to power up for everybody. So if you are low in Stardust, then these are the Pokemon that you're going to be most interested in. And it includes Venusaur, Beedrill, Crustle, Golbat, Swalot, Obstagoon, Alolan Raticate, Wigglytuff, Wormadam, Trash. So you can see he's listing the best moveset for this cup for every Pokemon. And he's going to talk about a couple of matchups that it could win, or matchups that it loses. Give you a general idea of how this Pokemon should be used during the Halloween Cup. Then we're getting into the Pokemon that are slightly more expensive, with 50,000 cost. We have Galvantula, which was stated by PvPoke to be one of the most important ones. Escavalier, Venomoth, Galarian Rapidash, Alolan Marowak, Frostlass, Weavile, Honchkrow, Houndoom, Scrafty, Toxicroak, some Razor Leaf users like Vileplume or Victory Bell, Azumarill, maybe the most important Pokemon for the Halloween Cup, Gengar, Hunter, Alolan Muk, Skuntank. So Alolan Muk, because Alolan Grimer is now spawning in the wild, you can try to get one with good PvP IVs that you could immediately use in the Halloween Cup then. Skuntank, Dusclops, Tentacruel, and then we are going to get into the expensive Pokemon, which cost 75,000 Stardust to get. So we can see that Mandibuzz is one of those Pokemon, Umbreon, Zweilous, Sableye, Drifblim, Scizor. You could also go for the Shadow version, which would make it even more expensive. Golurk, Ferrothras, Tyranitar, Mawile, and yeah, those are the most important Pokemon for the Halloween Cup. Because of the Halloween event, it is definitely a nice moment to try and get a good version of certain Pokemon right now. For example, Golurk, it's really hard to get this Pokemon, but right now you can find them in the wild every now and then to try and get yourselves one for the Halloween Cup. Same goes for something like Sableye, and because Sableye does not have an evolution, you can use the costume version. Because, when it comes to Pokemon like Charizard, if you have Charmander now with a costume and it cannot evolve, it's going to be useless. But because Sableye does not evolve anyway, it's fine. And as we know, costume Pokemon can Mega Evolve too. So there's really you can max it out no problem. And you will need to max it out because it maxes out just below 1500. So it is still expensive. Actually very expensive to get a Sableye for this cup. But yeah, those are some of the most interesting Pokemon. Then we have a Halloween Cup move infographic by 7Kushi. So as we have seen before, in these kinds of infographics you can see the fast move and how many fast moves it takes to get to the charge attack. So during the Halloween Cup you can have this infographic next to you to try and give yourself a good idea of what is going on during the match and which kind of moves are going to be thrown against you or when you should swap out. PvPoke has made a ranking for the Halloween Cup. You can see here it is listed as Great League, but specifically for the Halloween Cup. We can see which Pokemon are the most important. So as he has stated, Azumarill and Galvantula are on top, but Mandibuzz is actually really high up there as well. And then we have some things like Beedrill, potentially with the Shadow version, Golbat, Zweilous, Alolan Marowak, Mawile, Frostlass, Swalot, Mawile, etc. So these are some of the strongest Pokemon. And finally I want to look at a quick Game Press article as well about the Halloween Cup meta. And Game Press is also going to talk about the most important Pokemon of this meta. Azumarill is again on top. Then we have countering Azumarill, we have Pokemon like Galvantula, Beedrill, Venusaur, Victreebel, Shiftry, which are working well against Azumarill. And then we have countering Azumarill counter. So basically, what this means is these Pokemon are going to be strong against the counters of Azumarill. So these Pokemon, right? So Mawile, Alolan Marowak, and Wormadam Trash are doing well against these Pokemon. And basically what that means is, let's say you lead with an Azumarill and your opponent is weak against you, okay? So your opponent is forced to switch out. He is going to switch out into one of his Azumarill counters, either Galvantula, Beedrill, Venusaur, Victreebel, Shiftry. And that is why you want to have one of these countering Azumarill counters, because the moment that the opponent swaps, you can make a swap as well. So you can have that Alolan Marowak locked in against the Venusaur, for example, which is going to absolutely destroy it. So that's kind of how that works. And then we have core breakers as well, with Gengar and Haunter, Sableye, Crustle and Tyranitar, Quailfish, Golbat, Swalot, Skuntank, Alolan Drapion, Umbreon, Swallows, Mandibus. So kind of a lot, as you can see. And then finally I want to look at the infographic here. We can see a close-up. And this is going to look at the, this is the core, okay? We can see the core here and how it works. So we can see that Azumarill is defeating Mawile and Alolan Marowak, while Marowak is defeating Mawile and Galvantula and Beedrill. We can see that Mawile is defeating Galvantula and Beedrill as well. And Galvantula and Beedrill are mainly used as the Azumarill counters. So that's what they defeat. And then we can see the core breakers here. So we can see, for example, for Gengar and Haunter, we can see the dots. The yellow dots means win, so they are going to win against Azumarill, right? Top dot, Azumarill. And then we can see on the right here, Alolan Marowak. They are going to win against Alolan Marowak as well. While they are evenly matched up against the other ones. So you can see that it is a tie, basically, against Mawile, Galvantula and Beedrill. And those matchups are going to be decided on details, maybe who's got the bigger energy lead or who's got the shield advantage. So we can see that from every single Pokemon here. So if you look at something like Obstagoon and Scrafty, we can see they lose against both Galvantula, Beedrill and Azumarill. However, they win against Alolan Marowak and Mawile. So that is how this infographic works. We have an interesting one here as well with Drifblim and Golbat, which seem to be neutral against all of them. So maybe that means that they are a good safe swap. So yeah, that Halloween Cup is coming very soon. So based on these infographics, maybe you can get a nice idea of what you can use. Definitely seems that something like Azumarill with Galvantula, and then maybe something like a core breaker, who knows, maybe that one of these safe positions like Drifblim would work well. We're gonna have to wait and see which teams are going to come out on top. Maybe tomorrow I can give you an idea of what teams people are using that are going to be successful. But yeah, that Halloween Cup is coming in a couple of hours. So everybody good luck and have fun with that. If you do not like the Halloween Cup at all, then the Great League should be available as well. Well, actually the Master League and the Master Premier League should be available as well, if you would prefer that. So that's everything I want to share for today. I definitely think the Halloween event is relatively interesting. I'm a little bit disappointed that some Pokemon have been made very rare. For example, if you look at Yamask, then the Galarian version you can only get one, which kind of sucks. And the regular version is really tough to find in the wild, so it's really tough to get a shiny. Same goes for Spiritomb, it is hard to get a shiny as well. But at the same time, sometimes it's a little bit nice when things are rare to get, so you are more excited to get it. Of course, if you don't get it, you'll be disappointed though. That's the downside of it. And it will also depend on your area. I mean, if you live in an area without many Pokestops, then chances are you're going to get like 1 or 2 or 3 of those tasks in total during the event, and that is just not going to be fun. I get that. But for the areas with a dense Pokestop density areas, it might be more interesting. Anyway, that's everything for today, and I will make a new episode when there's more information available, and I will see you then.